What does having a pure heart mean? Having a better understanding of what this is will help us to be inclined to cultivate this type of heart. It is a heart that God expects us to have. Luke 6:45 states, "A good man out of the good treasure of his heart brings forth good, and an evil man out of the evil treasure of his heart brings forth evil." The Bible also speaks of your heart as the seat of your thoughts, intents of your reasoning and intellectual capabilities, your emotions, your attitudes, and your conscience. Your mind is your heart. Each of those areas of the heart must be purified and kept pure. When you think a thought, it happens in your heart. Jesus said in Mark 9:4, "Why do you think evil in your hearts?" When you use your reasoning ability, it occurs in your heart. This is demonstrating the intellect of a heart. Also, the Bible confirms that our emotions are anchored in our heart. In 2 Corinthians 24, it speaks of anguish of the heart. John 16:22 speaks of hearts that rejoice. Ecclesiastes 20 speaks of hearts that despairs. The task of purifying the heart will involve making sure our emotions are right in the sight of God. Making a choice is an action of the heart. Your motives and intentions come from your heart. Your attitudes, your decisions, your convictions, and your obedience all come from the heart. But he who stands firm in his heart, being under no constraint, but has authority over his own will, and has decided this in his own heart. 1 Corinthians 7:37. But thanks be to God that though you were slaves of sin, you became obedient from the heart. Romans 6:17. The development of a pure heart is the very essence of a conversion to Christ. Jesus said, "Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God." Matthew 5:8. Now flee from youthful lusts and pursue righteousness, faith, love, and peace with those who call on the Lord from a pure heart. 2 Timothy 2:22. Because your heart defines who you are, it is important that you protect your heart from sin. To be pure in heart involves thinking pure thoughts and controlling your emotions. To be pure heart means conforming your will to the will of God. Romans 12:2 states, "Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, so that you may prove what the will of God is, that which is good and acceptable and perfect." The mind and heart are renewed as we deliberately choose to make God's will our will. In Colossians 3:12 through 15, the Apostle Paul wrote that Christians are to put on a heart that is different from the world, one that identifies them as people of God. He said, "As those who have been chosen of God, holy and beloved, put on a heart of compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience, bearing with one another and forgiving each other, whoever has a complaint against anyone. Just as the Lord forgave you, so also should you. Beyond all these things put on love, which is the perfect bond of unity. Let the peace of Christ rule in your hearts, to which indeed you were called in one body, and be thankful." A total devotion to God is necessary in order to purify your heart. Commit yourself to having a pure heart. We will be looking at the qualities that demonstrate a pure heart in other videos.